I'm going to start right now by saying the following. I'm Amir Afzar, everyone's favorite California licensed attorney, everyone's favorite adjunct university professor, everyone's favorite mediator, everyone's favorite online student, everyone's favorite son, father, brother, friend. And you're watching Unbillable. Luis, I'm holding in my hand the business law text, loose leaf, 14th edition, Clarkson Miller Cross. They've paid me nothing to show this book. They paid me nothing to use this textbook in my class. As I mentioned in the introduction, the class that I teach at Cal State University San Bernardino Palm Desert campus begins April 3rd, which is roughly a week from now. And I'm trying to get a instructor's edition of the text they would like me to use. And what they've provided me is this, a loose leaf non-instructor's edition of the text. Real quick, just for fun though, this loose leaf, I'm looking over my computer to get the exact numbers. This loose leaf, a bundle, this loose leaf and 6 months printed access card is $133. $133? Seems like a lot to me. Seems like a lot to me. And then you asked me, why do schools charge so much for the textbooks? And I'm gonna give you my honest, because I wasn't a student that long ago, although I've been out of the game for a little bit. The first reason's gotta be, it's a racket. Once I say that my class is going to use the Clarkson Miller Cross Business Law Text and Case 14th edition, my students, roughly 35, let's say, have no choice but to acquire access and or a copy of this text. So it's a racket, meaning you can't go to like a competitor's version. I mean, obviously, if you have some means to get a copy of it by illegal means, like downloading it or something, violating the copyright laws, I have to advise you against doing that because, again, I am a California licensed attorney. But the point being, all those students are like fish in the barrel for the company that writes the text up. Now, part B of that same why does the textbook cost so much is because obviously the research, the information inside costs money. I don't know how much these things are changing over time. The person who writes it obviously wants to get paid, so there's that. Obviously there's also some actual cost of the paper, although there is no binding in this loose leaf edition. There's some cost of the paper and the printing and the graphics and the shipping and the handling. But all in all, I imagine it's like upfront research cost, and then it's a hustle. It's a street hustle. I also want to take a moment and shout out all my former students. Whenever I have a class coming up, I always take a moment and shout out the survivors, the people who have taken my class before and made it through. So shout out to all you guys. You're probably at a point where you feel like, I'm working so hard and I just need some time off. And here I am to say, no, you don't. You've got it. You can do it. Push through it. Believe it or not, school's some of the easier time in your life. I hate to break it to you, but like real life and real world, it gets harder. Think about what kindergarten was like, and then the first grade was a little bit harder, and then middle school was even harder than that. High school, supposedly harder than that. College, if you've done it right and not had your parents pay your way in, even harder than that. Quick note, USC grad. I see my school getting run through the mud here about, celebrities paying, I think, $250,000 each child to get their 2 children into the school. As an alum, I just want to start by saying, obviously, never happy with any kind of tarnishing that goes on to the school. But I do have to say the prior scandals, and I'm not going to actually get into them because I don't want to publicize them further, are a lot worse than this in my opinion. And if you really want to do some lawyering and wrap this thing in a silver lining, I will say the following. That celebrity could have picked any school for their kid to go to, and they chose USC. So, maybe that's a really, really cup half full way to look at things. And for my friends who are teasing me about it, I want to say 2 things. Number 1, no, my parents did not pay anything for me to get into USC. I got in the old-fashioned way with like working hard and getting good grades. 2, if they had paid money, it was a long time ago now. I mean, you see the salt and pepper in the hair, right? And I mean, it's getting saltier like by the day. So the statute of limitations, again, it's a legal vlog, right? So the statute of limitations, the amount of time from which you could bring your claim has seriously expired on my college experience, that's for sure. And then 3, most importantly, I think you have to really ask yourself the following. If you are cheating the system in order to get your child or anybody into a university, who are you really cheating? Are you cheating yourself? Are you cheating the student? Are you cheating the other applicants who aren't getting in? I think you're cheating all of those things. I don't really think there's a benefit. In other words, the student themselves, they know they didn't get in on their own merit. They know that they're not worthy of the school that they are at. And so I don't believe that that is going to help them. I think that they are going to know deep down inside that there's cheating and shortcuts that got them to where they are, and that's going to kind of deflate it in its own way. So, yeah, I mean, I think I got a little bit more into that than I was even planning on saying, but I look at my own students in my class, and when you cheat or copy your friend's homework, you're really only cheating yourself. I mean, that's the truth. Like, if you're not there getting the value, the education back out of it, then your money's being wasted for the class you pay for, and your parents' money's being wasted if they paid to get you in or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, short-term value, long-term disaster. That's how I look at that kind of situation. And with that, we can move on to, you know what? This is a perfect transition, because I said I'm also a student. I signed up for an online class, and I'm taking a negotiation mastery course online. I have not taken a strictly online class before, but we're doing that. So far, so good. I think we're about maybe about 1/8 through the program, and so far, so good. We negotiated a sale of a piece of real estate, and I think it went pretty well. I imagine my counterpart, although I don't believe they vlog, is on the other side thinking that things went pretty well for them too. So that's usually the sign of a good, solid negotiation that ends with a deal, is that hopefully both parties kind of feel like it went well, because at the end of the day, they agreed to something. And the same thing can be said with mediations, in the sense that, like, when there's a dispute, you know, both parties are kind of either giving or a little bit more than they want to give, and maybe receiving a little less than they want to receive, but there's value in having there be a deal that gets struck. And in our first online negotiation, we struck a deal. And kind of similarly, we probably both wanted more and wanted to give less, but we were able to make a deal. And so, like I said, it went pretty well, and it was a good experience. So far, so good for me as the online student. And so, yeah, that's a lot of stuff we just poured out right there, my man. We were going to head west to Palm Desert for the remainder of this vlog, but I was just informed that there was a major car accident, which has closed the intersection. So we're gonna recalibrate things and head to my home away from home. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in I don't know how many vlogs, let's go to Chipotle. Heaven. That's it, we're done. Can I eat in peace yet? Yeah. Let me eat in peace. All right, that was a close call. We just wrapped up inside Chipotle. I thought I'd spilled some salsa. Luckily, it was just some thread. I gotta take this second to shout out, number one, the manager in Chipotle for hooking us up with Luis's meal. That was really cool. Hopefully you're watching this episode. And gotta shout out Jay. She was the first winner of our t-shirt giveaway on Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram, make sure you follow us there. And so shout out Jay. Thanks for sharing your prize with everybody on your Instagram as well. So if you want a shirt, comment below. You never know. Maybe we'll hook you up. And yeah, let's get a roll on. We gotta touch on. Let's go back to the class. We got the class coming up next week. I know you asked me to talk about what I expect from my students. That's a tough one, you know. I think the obvious stuff, right? You got to keep up with the syllabus. You got to like do your reading assignments and all that stuff. That's obvious. I think more than the average professor, though, I probably ask my students to like give their honest and open opinion, and so I hope my students will bring their like personal experiences and honest opinion to the class. At lunch, Luis, you asked me a question. I'm gonna take a minute and answer it right here for the vlog as well. You asked me if I ever cut corners or do favors for students. Maybe a student shows effort and needs a little help with their grade or something like that. I mean, no. No, I don't. I mean, will I give a student who has a legitimate excuse or something,
Like I had a student that was gonna miss class, right? Because they were pregnant. Now, if they were gonna miss like 1 or 2 classes, that's fine. It turned out they were gonna miss like 3/4 of the quarter. So like, I can't let them do that. I am employed. Here's a nice little dichotomy. Unlike AFSAR Law Group, where I am the dictator, I am the AFSAR and AFSAR Law Group. I'm just a cog in the machine that is the California State University, right? I'm just one professor. So there are rules for how many classes you can miss, and I don't really get to skirt those rules. But like, would I give someone like an A- instead of a B+ just to help them out? No. I mean, it sounds mean in the vlog, but no, dude, that's not... There's a dude, sorry. But that's not my role. That's not my role. It's not my... It's like the tough parenting. It's not my role to like give them anything. I don't give grades. My grades are earned. To me, this is like about your mindset. Like people constantly tell me, they ask me how I'm able to put so many different things on my plate. And I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn. I just think I work better when I have a lot of things going on. If I only have like one thing to do, I can procrastinate and make that one thing take a really long time. If I have 10 things to do, I feel like I have a lot of stuff to do, and all of a sudden I gotta get it done, and it like puts me to work to like get the 10 things marked off the list. So I kind of started the episode joking around about like everyone's favorite attorney, mediator, student, professor, all these things. But it's true, like right now, I mean, hopefully it's true that I'm your favorite, but what I'm trying to get at is like, I have enough time to do these things. I have enough time to teach the class. It only lasts about 8 weeks. I have enough time to take the class. It also only lasts about 8 weeks. I've done them at the same time. I think I'll be able to juggle these things. The law practice never stops. It's become like part of my routine. And so like, for me, it's filling your plate up will motivate you to get the work done. And I try to like encourage my students, this is a good way to wrap the students back into this, to recognize that like instead of dwelling on feeling like you have a lot of stuff to do and a lot of stress, you should kind of look at it as an opportunity, look at it as a chance for you to knock these things out, to like get them done. Like mindset plays a really big part in all of these things, in like accomplishing goals in general. And don't get me wrong, just thinking and having the right mindset alone won't be enough. You actually have to do the work also. But if you put it this way, you have a choice of, you're gonna do the work either way. So you have a choice of doing it with a positive mindset or doing it with like a negative mindset. And to me, the person who does it with a positive mindset from the beginning, like believing in themselves, believing they can do it, generally speaking, they're gonna have a better outcome because they have the confidence in knowing that what they do is gonna go well. They have confidence in what they're doing. I mean, you could even dial this back to like when I was auctioning off the items. I have confidence in my own public speaking. I have very little confidence in my auction skills. I put the focus on the public speaking and then kind of walked into it. Obviously, I practiced. I did the work part, but I didn't let myself get psyched out on the whole, like, I've never done this before part, right? So, you know, I've never made a vlog before, and this is episode 82. Crush that like button because you know you like it. Comment, because it's about time you said something. I know a lot of you are out there watching these episodes, and you're not putting anything in the comments below. Today, this is the sign you've been waiting for. Put it in the comments below, and of course, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, that's really questionable conduct. Hit the notification so you always know when we have a new video, and we look forward to seeing you. You look forward to seeing us on the next episode of Unbillable.